Republican congressional candidate Jay Feely to National Report for his very first Newsmax appearance. Jay, good to see you. Not in uniform this time, obviously, here. What a big moment. You've had such a decorated career. I myself have watched through the years in the NFL, both the broadcast booth as well. I think the big question, at least for me, is why politics? What happened?
Sean, I love my country, and I love beating your Cowboys too, by the way, whenever we did that when I was with the Giants. But
yeah, we'll talk about that another time. Yeah.
I'm like a lot of Americans. You know, when you sit back and you look at what happened with COVID and all the liberties that we lost, and then the BLM riots and the hypocrisy that existed, watching our cities burn and people get murdered, businesses be destroyed, and the DEI politics, the transgender stuff that was going on with our children. And then you get to the border, and you guys were just talking about it. For 4 years, the Biden administration lied to the American people, and they said they needed a bill passed to do anything at the border. They put politics in front of the protection of American people. They did it willingly, you know, and those families that were impacted by illegals, whether it was murders or rapes or fentanyl overdoses, the Democrats should stand up and apologize. Every single interview they do, they should say to the American people, we were wrong, we lied to you, and we apologize. Those are the main reasons that I thought about politics, but not until the day that President Trump got shot. You know, I remember exactly where I was that day. That day stood out to me dramatically. I started to ask myself, what am I willing to sacrifice for my country? Because I love my job. I love broadcasting and doing games. It was fun. I only had to work 5 months of the year, and then we got 7 months off. And, you know, it was very enjoyable. But I knew there was something more. I knew there was a bigger picture, and I really felt that pressing from God. And my wife and I just started talking about it, praying about it. And when Andy Biggs decided in January he was going to run for governor, the seat where we lived for the last 15 years here in Arizona would become open. And it's when I decided, you know what, I want to serve my country. And that's how I view politics. Yeah. It's really about civil service.
It is. And unfortunately, so many in Washington who've maybe served several terms tend to forget that, right? So the farther you are away from really being at home, it's just you're out of touch. And I understand you're with it here. You hear the concerns of folks in Arizona. And let's go back in time a little bit. 2020, when President Trump stopped by Yuma, a rally, you were there. He called you out specifically. We'll play it for our viewers now.
He's one of the best kickers ever. NFL kicker, Jay Feely. Where's Jay? Where is Jay? He's here someplace. Where is he? Where? Jay! What happened? You couldn't get a good seat, Jay. I'll bet you this man would only stand for our national anthem. That's one thing. That's one thing I can tell you. And if they don't stand for our flag, if they don't stand for our national anthem, I turn off the game.
Ah, very true. I'm sure that connected with a lot of folks. Jay, what was that moment like for you?
Well, pretty special. Like, I've been very blessed to be around President Trump a number of times. We played golf together a few times, and you saw it there. He's got a great sense of humor. He's incredibly smart. You know, you were talking about Biden's decline and how the media hit it, and I think that was evident to the American people. They saw, you know, one side, the Democrat side, have a candidate who couldn't put a coherent sentence together, and they saw another side in President Trump who understands the issues. He's got such a vast knowledge base, and he knows exactly what's going on, not only in politics, but in sports and around the world. And every time I've spent time with him, it's been a blessing, and I've enjoyed it tremendously. It's why I've been such a supporter of his all the way back to 2016.
Jay, have you talked to Congressman Andy Biggs about this role? Obviously, he's running for governor now, so opening up that seat. Have you spoken with him about this?
Certainly. He was the first person I talked to. We sat down, we had breakfast when he announced he was going to run for governor, because I just wanted to pick his brain and make sure that he was all in on governor. He said that he was. And, you know, Andy's been a great servant to our state here. My wife was able to sit down with his wife and just kind of pick their brains. Jim Jordan and Tom Emmer have been excellent for me, a resource where I could talk to them, ask them about it. We went up to D.C. about a month ago and just kind of sat down with everybody and really walked through what it was like to be a congressman and what that would entail. And that's when my wife and I both decided, yeah, we're all in. We understand what it's going to ask. We understand the sacrifice that it's going to take, and we're willing to do that.
Information, truth, is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.